Hi, I'm Dr. Jim Fazone. I'm principal of the Mercer County Technical School SciPec Center. I'm here with Gary Mattia. He's principal of the Assipink Center. And as usual, our producer and director, Nick Sikowski, is here with us. Our special guest is a popular figure around both campuses, and it's Mick Orfe. But before we get started, I have to fill out my form for today's show. Does anybody have a pen I can borrow?
Oh, I got one. You want to borrow a pen, Fez?
Yeah, sure. I'll take it.
Take this.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Mr. Orfe. I have it now. And let me fill out the form. Mr. Mattia, do you need a form for your pen for your form?
I do, Dr. Fazone.
Okay, well, yeah, here it is, and let me hand it to you. And
all right, thank you.
Okay, very good. Okay, now we can start the show. I think, Mr. Mattia, you have some questions for our special guest, who is a school psychologist and a supervisor at the Mercer County Technical Schools. Why don't you go ahead with your question?
Well, I know you're involved in a lot of the recruiting and getting new students in, and I thought you'd share some information about the share time programs with us at this time.
That's very nice, Gary. Thanks for asking, and thanks both of you for having me on the show. For the record, I am a longtime viewer of the program. Longtime fan as well, so it's an honor for me to be on here now as a first-time guest. So thanks for having me. Yes, the programs we've had a lot of exciting new opportunities with admissions this year, admissions and recruiting. One, this is the first time we've ever been able to do these virtual visits. Right? Normally, I go into the high schools and the middle schools and talk about our programs. This year, that was not possible, so I've been doing Zoom meetings and Google Meets with groups of students, and it's been very, very exciting and very successful. Number two, we created all kinds of videos that are available on our website, and there is a link. If you look down below me here in the description, there is links to those videos in that description below. So we encourage any of our viewers or anybody interested to watch those videos. We are still taking applications for the Culinary Arts Academy. That has rolling admissions all year. STEM and Health Science Academy, we just completed our testing. So that is done. You can still apply to those programs, but you will be placed on a waiting list that's getting rather long. We had a lot of applications for those. Culinary Arts Academy had a lot of applications as well, but there is still room. So if you are interested, if you like cooking, please apply on our website, www.mcts.edu. Once again, in the description, the link is in the description below me. And last but not least, the shared time programs are bread and butter. These are career technical education programs. You spend half the day with us, half the day at your home school getting your academics. And we have room in many classes. A lot of programs are full now, but there is still room in a whole bunch of programs. Just apply, talk to your guidance counselor, and go to that website. And make sure you have your phone off before you record any kind of a live podcast. That's just the tip of the day from Mr. Orfe. So yes, I've talked way too long. Go to that website, mcts.edu, shared time programs. Some of my favorites are building construction trades. You got plumbing, carpentry, masonry, and electrical all in one class. That's called the class I wish I took in high school. The horticulture and turf care management class is fantastic. Mr. Birdsall, outstanding teacher. I love our business tech program. You learn all about an office environment and all kinds of different computer applications and programs. And auto tech fundamentals, Mr. Park, a personal friend of mine and an outstanding teacher. Teacher of the Year a couple of years ago in 2019 for Mercer County Technical Schools. So enough of my yakking, boys. You didn't know you were going to get such an earful when you had me on the show, did you?
We were hoping we would.
Yeah, and that's a comprehensive overview of what takes place at the Mercer County Technical School. I have a specific question, I guess, that has to do with the many students that we get. And I'm not on campus now. We're not on campus. We will be shortly. But when the students make those visits, we see what kind of students we're going to be having at our school. Ms. Orfe, can you talk a little bit about our programs? Yes, we have the academies, but when we talk about those shared time programs, we're talking about baking and dining, culinary, auto body, yes, HVAC, and also horticulture. what I have found is that students can go into those programs, go right to a job, and some of them make six figures right out of high school without a student loan. However, the additional caveat is they can also choose to go on to college or additional training right after they graduate. So college is still an option. Can you kind of give our, because sometimes I don't know that our general school community understands that we have both options.
You're so right, Faz, and I'll tell you something. A long time ago, when I was in high school, when you guys were in high school, you had to choose. It was either you're going to the tech school or you're going to college, and that is really, really not the case anymore. In fact, most of our programs, the majority of our programs, offer college credit. So it's a great career pathway. If you do want to go to college, you're going to learn all kinds of skills and actually start that career that you can then learn at a higher level. But additionally, if you want to go into the workforce, these programs will prepare you for that. The diesel program, for example, they have relationships with big trucking companies all over the state, and a kid can graduate from high school, walk right into a job there, and be making in the mid 50s at age 18, 19, right out of high school. HVAC program, you get your license, your universal refrigerant handler's license. Cosmetology, you're finishing up with your license. Electrical and carpentry, great gateways into an apprenticeship. So these are excellent opportunities for students who are sharp enough to keep their phone off prior to a podcast. That's just another little tip. All right.
All right, Mr. Mateo, you had another question?
I don't think so. I mean, I think Mr. Orfe explained a lot of the questions I had and questions that some of the students would ask me. So
I do.
I feel very comfortable. I'm sure, Dr. Fazzone, you might have a question.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to talk about, I think we learn something from everything that we do. All our students do, our teachers, and we're always learning as we go. Mr. Orfe, I don't know if people realize, but you were an actor at one point, and I actually saw you on an episode before I ever met you. What does anything from that acting experience help you with the job you have, dealing with students, dealing with parents, dealing with curricula, and also making sure that that the Mercer County Technical School is such a great place. And you have that smiling face, so I know that's part of it. But what would you say? Are there some transfers of knowledge that come from that acting that you did to what you do now?
Thank you're really putting me on the spot here, Dr. Fazzone, and I hope I'm not blushing over the Google Meet. But yes, there's definitely skills and knowledge that you can generalize and take from that world of acting and bring into education in general. Think about the teachers, right? Teachers do 900 shows a year because they're always have to be on point and speaking. The public speaking that I do is a big help. The biggest skill is that where acting translates to my job as the admissions recruiter is I have to appear like I know what I'm talking about. I have to act like I know what I'm doing. When 90% of the time I don't. I'm just kidding. I just kidding. Yeah, back to the. I'm trying to steer it away from me now. Back to the admissions. There are many great programs. So don't shy away from anything that interests you. The ones that I mentioned are just some that I wanted to highlight today, but there's a whole list of those programs on the website, mcts.edu. Check out the chat, watch those videos.
Thanks,
Okay.
Mr.
Yeah, go ahead, Gary.
No, I just say thank you for all that information. It's really stuff that we think is really important. And the more that our students know, the more the students are coming here or want to come here know, I think makes it a better situation for everyone. So I really appreciate everything we've talked about today.
Thanks a lot.
And when Mr. Orfe comes to your school and he's recruiting, feel free to talk to him and that smiling face. And we know that you know what you're talking about. You go with that self-deprecating humor all the time, Mr. Orfe, but we know you're an expert in everything that goes on at our school. We want to thank you for being here with us today.
It's been absolutely my pleasure. Students, parents, anybody out there listening, if you know somebody who should apply, 10th, 11th grader in high school, or an 8th grader who might like the Culinary Arts Academy, have them check those programs out. Send them our way. We'd love to meet them.
So for all of us here at the principal's office, we'd like to thank our special guest, Mr. Orfe. So for Gary Mattia, Nick Sikowski, I'm Dr. Jim Fazzone, and we will see you next week in the principal's office. Bye-bye.